Hello everyone, it's Thumper the Rabid Rabbit. Today I'm doing, well, effectively a user request for my buddy Clan D. Hey Clan D, how's it going? Frequent on Discord and YouTube. Also play on a couple servers with him. We were noticing, and he had mentioned that solar panels don't seem to do as well as they used to. On modded servers, I've seen some very unusual solar panel behavior. Like, I've seen some pointed directly at the sun, not giving any power, even when there's nothing in front of them. So, I don't know what the heck's going on with mods. So, I came here to check out what's happening on an unmodded server. So, right now, the server time is set to 12 noon, which is not high noon in the game. I did a Reddit post on this. Maybe I can find that. If I can find that, I'll do a link to it. But there are seasons in this game. So length of day, position of sun actually changes throughout the seasons. Right now, on this particular server that I've just spawned up for testing, noon is about 40 degrees. What I did was set up the traditional compass rose here. I went every 20 degrees, so this is 100, 80, 60, 40, which is about where noon is right now, 20, 360 due north, then 340 all the way around to the other side of west over here, 260. So we've got just below west and just below east. So sunrise is actually 7:30 in the morning on this server right now, and sunset is 7:30 in the evening. So it's a 12-hour day at this moment, which means high noon, as it were, due north is actually 1:30 server time. So let me change the time to that. 13.5, that's 1:30. You'll see that the sun switches to directly north. And as you might expect, all of the panels have full exposure. Surprisingly, even the ones that are over here on the end. I mean, granted, the sun's pretty high, which helps, but they are pointed way off in the other direction. And you'll see here that the sun angle is highly influential in how these behave. So let's go all the way around, just so you can get a feel for what changes on these as we go around the entire compass. So I'm going to go to environment time 7.5, 7:30, that's our sunrise. And you can see them changing already. And this is the most curious artifact of what happens here. Time is frozen, by the way, so we're frozen at 7:30. You'll notice that the panel with the most power is the 100-degree one, pointed due east over here. But the sun appears to be around, like, what is that, 70-something degrees, 73, 72, 73 degrees. You'd almost expect the 80-degree panel to be the best power producer here. I would expect that. But it's not. So, what the fuck? Yeah. It's as if it is rendering the light from due east or even further over than that. So that's a little curious. And you'll see that's consistent when we get to the other side here. I'm going to keep advancing the time in 2-hour increments. Let's go from 7:30 to 9:30. And now you see all three of these panels over here are now getting full light, and the others starting to pick it up around the horn here. That would be 100, 80, 60, dropping off around 40, 20, and the due north panel barely getting anything, even at 9:30. So let's change environment time to 11:30. Getting close to noon here. Now we start seeing them all pick up a little bit, and I think, again, this has more to do with the height of the sun than it does with the position, the compass position. And then I'll move us again to 13.5, 1:30. That's the middle of our solar day on the server right now, and we'll see that, now where the sun's at north, pretty high overhead, getting good exposure on all the panels. And we're going to go to 15.5, so 3:30. And now we start seeing the east ones drop off a bit. Okay. Environment time to 17.5, 530. And now we see the east panels start dropping off. Gotta wait for it to re-render there. Look at that. We lost all 5 of those north and east facing panels. So we've got due north has barely any power still. We're starting to move over this way. And then finally, let's go to 19.5. That's 7:30 in the evening. That's our sunset. And you'll see, again, the interesting incongruity here. The sun appears visually around 290. This is the panel that's pointing 280. This is a 300. So you'd think these last, you know, the second and third from last would have the most power. They don't. 15 and 9. The most power is on the 260 degree panel, which is not visually where the sun is. So again, doesn't quite work out as expected there. The takeaway from this, I think, that you should pay attention to is that if you happen to know server time, if you have server time available on your server or you're looking at the computer console, don't place your panels off of noon, because noon apparently is, you know, over here. If you want maximum exposure, you do need to place them relative to north. If I take it back again to environment time 13.5, and there we go. You'll see all of them are going to pop back up at 20 here when it refreshes. That's the best sun exposure, direct north. Even though it's 1:30, it's the middle of the solar day. Again, there are seasons here. This shifts. It doesn't shift a lot as far as I can tell. Again, I'll have to go find my Reddit post because I detailed all of this crap out. It does shift. The length of the day shifts from the winter to summer solstice. I'm kind of getting the sense that it's rendering the light source different than the visual sun. So I think it's always rendering the light from 100 degrees all the way to 260 degrees. That's 20 degrees beyond true east and true west, or maybe it's directly east and west. It just happens to be biased towards this one, but you could tell by that number at sunset. But boy, this panel was definitely getting the most and these weren't, so it's not even halfway in between. It's not even west, it's further over. So there you have it. Clandy, I hope that helps shed a little bit of light. I said it. On what's happening with the solar panels here. Yes, they do change their exposure throughout the day. They may be a little more susceptible to occlusion than they used to be. I went up on the top of this mountain here because when I first tried this down on the shoreline, I was getting even less consistent results because of the trees and stuff over there and then this hill over here. So shade definitely influential. It's always been influential on solar panels. It may be a little different now though. I've been away and busy with work, so I haven't been keeping up on the changelog as much as I'd like to. If anybody's seen any specific changelog entries to how they changed the solar panel, I'd love to see that explanation. But yeah, a little more sensitive than they used to be, but still usable. So I hope that helps anybody who's trying to figure out what's going on with solar panels. Again, could be your placement, could be occlusions and shadows, could be mods on the server that you're playing on. So it may not be you may not be going crazy. Like I said, on one server I was on, you know, these metal panels right here would be getting nothing right now for God only knows why. Who knows? So it's Rust. I mean, expect bugs and inconsistencies, right? All right, well, that's it. Good luck, and don't suck.